think about this. Instead of you doing all your work, you have a machine to finish it for you, or it can do something which you thought was not possible. For instance, predicting the future, like predicting earthquakes, tsunamis, so that preventive measures can be taken to save lives. Chatbots, virtual personal assistants, like Siri in iPhones, Google Assistant, and believe me, it is getting smarter day by day with deep learning. Self-driving cars. It will be a blessing for elderly people and disabled people who find it difficult to drive on their own. And on top of that, it can also avoid a lot of accidents that happen due to human error. Google AI Eye Doctor. So this is a recent initiative by Google where Google is working with an Indian eye care chain to develop an AI software which can examine retina scans to identify a condition called diabetic retinopathy, which can cause blindness. AI music composer. Who thought that we can have an AI music composer using deep learning? And maybe in the coming years, even machines will start winning Grammys. And one of my favorites, a dream reading machine. With so many unrealistic applications of AI and deep learning that we have seen so far, I was wondering that whether we can capture dreams in the form of a video or something. And I wasn't surprised to find out that this was tried in Japan a few years back on 3 test subjects, and they were able to achieve close to 60% accuracy. And that is amazing. But I'm not sure that whether people would want to be a test subject for this or not, because it can reveal all your dreams. Great. So this sets the base for you, and we are ready to understand what is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is nothing but the capability of a machine to imitate intelligent human behavior. AI is achieved by mimicking a human brain, by understanding how it thinks, how it learns, and work while trying to solve a problem. For example, a machine playing chess, or a voice-activated software which helps you with various things in your phone, or a number plate recognition system which captures the number plate of an overspeeding car and processes it to extract the registration number and identify the owner of the car so that he can be charged. And all this wasn't very easy to implement before deep learning. Now let's understand the various subsets of artificial intelligence. So till now you'd have heard a lot about artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. However, do you know the relationship between all 3 of them? So deep learning is a subfield of artificial intelligence. So it is a subfield of machine learning, which is a subfield of artificial intelligence. So when we look at something like AlphaGo, it is often portrayed as a big success for deep learning. But it's actually a combination of ideas from several different areas of AI and machine learning like deep learning, reinforcement learning, self-play, etc. And the idea behind deep neural networks is not new, but it dates back to 1950s. However, it became possible to practically implement it only when we had the new high-end resource capability. So I hope that you have understood what is artificial intelligence, so let's explore machine learning followed by its limitations. So machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence which provide computers with the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. In machine learning, we do not have to define all the steps or conditions like any other programming application. However, we have to train the machine on a training dataset large enough to create a model which helps the machine to take decisions based on its learning. For example, if we have to determine the species of a flower using machine, then first we need to train the machine using a flower dataset which contains various characteristics of different flowers along with their respective species, as you can see here in the image. We have got the sepal length, sepal width, petal width, and the species of the flower too. So using this input dataset, the machine will create a model which can be used to classify a flower. Next, we will pass on a set of characteristics as input to the model, and it will output the name of the flower. And this process of training a machine to create a model and use it for decision making is called machine learning. However, this process had some limitations. Machine learning is not capable of handling high-dimensional data, that is, where input and output is large and it is present in multiple dimensions. And handling and processing such a data becomes very complex and resource exhaustive. And this is termed as the curse of dimensionality. So to understand this in simpler terms, let us consider a line of 100 yards. And let us assume that you dropped a coin somewhere in the line. You will easily find the coin by simply walking on the line. A line is a single dimension entity. Now let's consider that you have got a square of side 100 yards each and you dropped a coin somewhere inside the square. Now definitely you'll take more time to find the coin within that square. A square is a two-dimensional entity. Now let's take it a step ahead and consider a cube of side 100 yards each and you dropped a coin somewhere inside the cube. Now it is even more difficult to find the coin. So if we see that the complexity is increasing as the dimensions are increasing, and in real life the high dimensional data that we're talking about has got many dimensions which makes it very complex to handle and process. The high dimensional data can be easily found in use cases like image processing, natural language processing, image translation, etc. And machine learning was not capable of solving these use cases and hence deep learning came to the rescue. So deep learning is capable of handling the high dimensional data and is also efficient in focusing on the right features on its own. And this process is called feature extraction.